Good afternoon. This is Brian Splitt with Allendale here for your closing commentary for the week ending April 15th, 2011. And halfway through the month of April, we did have some mixed trade today. A lot of spreading featured in the grains. May corn was down 12 1/4 at settlement at 7.42. And that was actually down 26 cents on the week. That's the first weekly close lower in 5 weeks there. So a little bit of a change of scenery there for corn. New crop corn actually still up half a penny today, and that was at 6.56. So this is a close above last week's high, and that is actually up 3 cents on the week. So a lot of movement in the spread of old crop and new crop corn, moving about 30 cents this week. And today we did have the funds sell about 10,000 contracts of corn. On soybeans, old crop May up about 3/4 at 13.31 3/4. That is down 60 1/2 on the week. Remember, on Monday and Tuesday we did have about a 90-cent range from Monday's overnight high to Tuesday's day session low. So quite a bit of movement in the bean contracts here. November soybeans down 5 1/2 today at 13.39 3/4, and that is down 56 1/4 on the week. Again, a little bit opposite action in soybeans. They are buying old crop soybeans and selling new crop soybeans this week, the opposite of what they're doing in the corn market. But we did have the funds buy an estimated 3,000 contracts of soybeans today. On the wheat markets, we did have the May Chicago up 3 3/4 today at 7.44 1/4. That is down 53 1/4 on the week. New crop July Chicago was up 3 3/4 as well at 7.80 even, and that is down 52 1/4 on the week. The funds bought an estimated 2,000 contracts there. But something interesting to note on the July Chicago weekly chart is we did forge a key reversal. The July Chicago wheat did open up above last week's high and closed below last week's low. So technically that is a bearish signal, and this week we did see very strong volume on that contract. We're also monitoring a possible head and shoulder top on the July Chicago contract on the weekly chart, and the neckline on that looks like it's right around that 690 area. So this market has held very good support around $6.90 to $7 in that specific contract, resetting after numerous rallies to that same point. So if we see that violated, that would be bearish as well. And we did have a strong start to the overnight trade last night. New crop corn retested the highs and eventually made new contract highs today at 560, 660. Geez, but we did have a lot of pressure coming in late in the session on talk that, again, Goldman Sachs is not as bullish commodities as they have been. There was a new note to investors today to hold an underweighted commodity position for the next 3 to 6 months, and that had certain markets in the red today, but definitely not the selling that we saw on Monday and Tuesday, which was a more concerted effort of just getting out of commodities altogether. But with that being said, we also had talk of the Canadian feed wheat being imported into the United States, long liquidation in the old crop corn, and also rolling of old crop positions into new crop positions for your longer term investments here. Also, we are still seeing the wet weather supporting the new crop and also providing pressure on the Kansas City wheat contract. And the trade is suggesting that old crop soybeans were supported today by spreading and strength in the soy meal and soy oil, and part of that strength also coming from a rally in crude oil today. We did have news this morning that 165,000 tons of soybeans were sold to China overnight for the new crop marketing year, and that is a little bit of a change in talk that we had earlier in the week that China was actually canceling cargoes of soybeans. Moving to the meat markets, we did have the meats lower today. The hogs found most of the pressure here. May down 2 1/4, June down 1 1/2. And lower pork, talk about China's inflation, and more of the Goldman Sachs talk did weigh on hogs today. Cattle, same deal. We had some lower trade there. April down 1 1/4, June down about 120. And drop in beef did pressure the April. The cash down about $4 here at 119, pretty widely traded this week. And we have increased talk of high gas prices causing consumers to lose interest in high-priced beef at these levels here. Now with crude oil, again, we did mention that was up today, up about $1.50 right now at 109.61. We did trade briefly through 110, and we had the May crude oil options expiring today with an awful lot of open interest up at the 110 area, and that's likely what drove these markets higher today. Gold up $14 at $14.86, silver up 97 cents at $42.63. Some strong metal trade here today. It looks like equities up 55 here in the Dow futures, S&P up 5, NASDAQ up 2, and this is all with the dollar index up 17 after making some new contract lows by about a point in the overnight trade. So that's a recap of the week's events, and wish you good luck trading next week. And again, this is Brian Split with Allendale. If you do have questions, please call us at 1-800-2-MARKET, 1-800-262-7538, and you can check us out online at www.allendale-inc.com. Thank you.